Well, hello. Hello. I am here today with my partner in crime and love. Yeah, that's right, Phelan. And we're talking about hold on, let me see if I can move things around. Today, we are talking about AI agents, everything you need to know. It's a simple guide. We're going to get deep into it today, Phelan, aren't we? We're going to talk about AI agents and the difference between a chat GPT and an AI agent.
Yes, that's definitely the what we are going with. I'm just trying to share into the group right now.
Oh, good. Um, so is ChatGPT, is it just a chatbot or is it a future partner for everything we're doing? I know a lot of people use ChatGPT. Probably I hear that most people use ChatGPT and Claude. Um, I personally like Manus, but Manus is an agent. So we're going to first discuss the big difference between agents and ChatGPT. Um, but before we get there, if you're around or if we're in the group yet, chime in, say hi. And Phelan, how's it going?
It is going well, and so yeah, and I guess kind of the first thing that is from a definition of like what's the difference between a chat GPT and an AI agent is at the most basic level is ChatGPT. You ask it questions or to do basic tasks like write me a summary of this email, something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and then it takes in a little bit of text. It can take in a file, uh, but it doesn't really have access compared to an agent where they have access to other tools via the API connections to those other tools, and
Mm-hmm.
then a new protocol that's replacing API when it comes to AI agents, which we'll get into MCP, which is Model Context Protocol. But we'll get more into that when we start talking about agents.
Right, it sounds so fun. So a lot's changing in the search space, and we're paying close attention because it's affecting ads, it's affecting search, it's affecting how we search. It's how we search is changing a
Yeah.
lot. And so yeah, the big difference is so we get chat GPTs. It's we get a like so Gemini, I think, and Claude are like chat GPTs, right? Like they're information
Yeah.
in, information out, like that's all.
Yeah, or scanning like even Gemini in your Google Drive of like, hey,
That's an agent thing.
it's technically it's not because it's an upload file. I
Mm,
get what you mean though, compared to like a Manus, where I'd argue a Manus execute code, which that's a huge difference compared to Gemini. Gemini can't do that, but it can take a file like
yeah.
find me the spreadsheet of my forecast and tell me how profitable I am. Right, like that's the
Mm,
kind of thing you could ask Gemini through it, and it's not really doing the agent thing because those have like workflows with like
yeah.
if and then statements.
But so ChatGPT has really changed over time, right? It's first 2022 is when it first came out, and it was just a basic chatbot. We were all trying it out, and then it kept getting smarter. It got really smart with GPT-4, and now we're in GPT-5, right? And it's got extra thinking, and in 2024 is when um, agents came into play. So they haven't been around that long, but there's so many now. And
Yes.
ChatGPT is becoming more of an agent with its advanced reasoning model O1. Um, and it can do tasks. So we're seeing in ChatGPT that you can actually, if you click on that plus button, I think, or one of the buttons, you can put it into agent mode. I do believe, right?
Yeah.
But I tried. So I originally, when ChatGPT agent came out, I did try it. I tried it with some Google Ads stuff. It was a little too complex, and couldn't do
Yeah.
it. So, but that was months and months ago. So, so what we're seeing now is a lot of different things coming into play because there's all these. So all the agents can do tasks, right? And they can break down tasks, and then we have plugins that we can use and combine agents, and then they're doing huge workflows or bigger workflows, right?
Yeah, so like getting into agents, especially as like yeah, we kind of covered the basis of what the like a chat GPT is. So it's
Hmm.
So the difference is like when you prompt an agent, it that prompt sends it off to do things. And
Hmm.
so kind of the advanced one right now that a lot of people are using is N8N.
Hmm.
And that is because it's open source, so you can host it yourself. So it also means that people can add new MCPs to it. So
What's an
getting
MCP? What's an MCP?
I was just about to say, getting into the
Excellent.
definition of the MCP is what happened is these agents, you would tell it like, oh, go do it, go to
Research.
here, or
Yeah.
the, or like, hey, check. Like an example that I saw that was really interesting was a guy had he had set up an agent that every day it checks all of his websites to make sure that they're still live.
Oh,
So
I like
it
that.
yeah, so it pings all of the websites he owns, and then he then wrote in there was a Docker, which is like a hosting type of system that you use. It's really cheap hosting that's very flexible. And so he uses Docker for his hosting. Um, kind of advanced stuff. Like I'm not saying everyone's going to do this, but it's a cool example of how you can really think about these. And what he then did is use Docker had an MCP. And so what the MCP is it converts what NAN is trying to do and converts it into like a standard language. So like, hey, I'm trying to do this on your system. How
Mhm.
do I do that? And then it goes, oh, okay, to do that, you need to activate this like line of code, and then it
Yeah.
gives it that. So the biggest one, so as you can kind of hear from this, like the biggest thing that's going to be happening with the MCP, it was Zapier when they built theirs, because now all of a sudden everything that's part of Zapier is now accessible to your AI agent.
I think that's when last week I went into Zapier, and I mean, I got kind of flustered and I got scared a little bit about what AI can do, but then it actually couldn't do it. So only
Oh,
a little more time, but it does need somebody at the helm that can understand what's going on.
Oh yeah, these things are like it reminds me of like old video games, and they always had a big issue of like it's called pathfinding. You know, when you're walking along and like the AI, like the bots are supposed to be able to walk around things, not just run into things. And so they called it pathfinding. But then what happened is people then created their own bots and became kind of a cat and mouse as to like people playing World of Warcraft would just automate it so they could just be working, and then they would
Hmm.
be on like their guy would still be botting, but they what they would do is they put a rock in the middle of the road, and so now you had to like build it so that if your guy stops that he actually will walk around it, and like it kind of became a cat and mouse. And I feel like a lot of the AI tools are like that as well. They'll
Mm,
do good up to an extent, and then they're going to hit a little rock, and then you're going to be like, okay, when
yeah,
you hit this little rock, try not, try to work your way
yeah.
around it.
Also, find like so. An example I have is I'll do a lot of so I've got tasks scheduled to get me the most recent changes in SEO, Google Ads, and AI, because that's our focus and it helps me keep up to date. And I have it automatically run Mondays and Fridays to make sure I'm reading everything to know kind of what's going on. And I mean, there's a lot of like weird acronyms. It's like a new language, like LLMs, right? And that so the learning and then the parsing information and what that looks so it can feel a little overwhelming. It can also feel really exciting. Um, I get Manus, and if you want a link to Manus to try, that way I get points, you get points, and we get to use it for free credits. I mean, um, but it'll do deep research for me and help me put together a presentation from a spreadsheet. And we all know SEO is about spreadsheets. Google
Yeah,
has spreadsheets too. Um, so like I think and custom chat GPT is okay. So chat GPT is turning more into an agent, but I think like I haven't gone into the deep realm of gems. I'd love to know if anyone in here has gotten into the gems and making them on Gemini. And I think Claude's got something like custom chat GPTs. But you can go search other people's chat GPTs. You can make your own, which we make chat GPTs for our clients to help us speak in their language. So chat GPTs, you can specialize them for your own stuff, but you're not necessarily they can do deep research and competitor research, but and they can they're becoming more agent like, right? Building pictures.
yeah.
Um, And like, yeah, it's a specialized tasks, but it's I think the advanced reasoning and the problem solving ability and the like is really helpful, right? So an AI framework, I'm sorry, an AI agent framework is like a lang chain, um, which is the most popular toolkit for building AI agents. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't actually completely get it, but it's like Lego blocks for AI, or like different strings of data you're shoving together. So, like, you're connecting different language models with databases and different tools, right, to build custom agents. So, custom agents will do lots of things, but I mean, would you want a custom agent just doing one major kind of task? Like, because like phone calls, or so I think that's happening in some spaces, right? There's AI doing calls, there's Hey Gen for video that replicate you. But yeah, they're best. So I think the lang chain is best for multi-task things, but that's a more you thing, Phelan, than a me, because it requires some coding and some planning.
Yeah, yeah. I find that a lot of the really useful applications for it, honestly, are checking on things. I found that those are some pretty good ones, as well as
What do you mean
because the
checking on
guy's
some
video that
things?
showed how he was checking on the Docker, he actually got it to reason out and solve the problem all on its
Mm.
own.
I would like that because I like getting data from. I mean, I think the agents and ChatGPT are just making us better at our jobs because they can see things that are harder for us to see without complex like calculations, and so
Yeah.
they can do it in. But you have to check your work because
Yes.
they will. They're very happy to just give you information. And I did lose a I think I lost a pretty big client because I trusted it was my first presentation using an AI agent. So that's why, and I got one of my numbers very wrong. Ooh, can you tell me about AI crew or semantic kernel? These are like weird things that are going on. They're like frameworks for building teams of AI agents.
Okay. So that is okay. So they're saying semantic kernel is it's the Microsoft's version of their open source kit for doing web development. So that's what I'm
Oh, for enterprise, right?
generally, if you're doing anything with the kits, that's pretty enterprisey. Because
Enterprise, yeah,
there's
like
like, well, I mean, what I'm thinking is like, so when I had to look up ahead of this is Gemini. Google has two LLM ones. There's one that's called Gemini, which is a much more common one, and it's meant for more just small person teams, like students, that kind of stuff. It's meant to be very small prototyping projects. Whereas they have one that's an enterprise grade version, which is called Vertex,
mm-hmm.
and that's
Vertex.
yeah. So Vertex is for fully deployed applications that are using complex levels of all of Google Cloud Platform. So if I'm just going to say Shopify just because I know that they're on Google Cloud Platform, but like they're going to need different resource management. It's really complex that's happening over multiple spaces, right? They're
Mm-hmm.
in all these different countries. And so it makes sense to use something like a Vertex to kind of deploy resources efficiently and quickly based on needs that are coming out of different spots, if that kind
Right?
of makes sense.
Sorta. We also have AutoGen Microsoft and Autopilot, which is first autonomous agent that tries to complete goals independently. That's very interesting. Set sub goals towards a bigger objective. Oh my goodness. Best for experimental projects and learning about AI agents. So it looks like there's huge amounts of knowledge to know here, but I think the thing we want to kind of dig deep into is what you need to know about when to use ChatGPT and when to use a custom agent, right?
Yeah.
Um, and also, please, at this point, just follow the guidelines because ChatGPT has had some negative effects on people who use it for therapy and things like that. Um, so you want to be very aware that humans are the best people to talk to. But when you need quick answers or some quick advice, and your team's not technical, or you have a limited budget, this is where you want to start, right? They can do relatively simple tasks. You can make images. They can, with a custom chat GPT, you could actually give it your brand colors, your brand guide, and it should follow it. And over time, it'll probably get better, right? So
Yeah.
simple tasks, and then with limited customization. So yeah, because it's not like you can easily edit a picture after it's done with ChatGPT. But ChatGPT uses Sora, I believe, for their image stuff, and
Video. The Sora's the video one.
Sora the video.
Yeah.
And what does Gemini use? Does it use Sora? No.
No, they have that Leo or the Neo banana. I
That's
didn't
right.
name it. I'm just reporting the facts.
So if you're going to use a custom agent, I would first like figure out kind of, I mean, it's hard to, people tell you, well, just figure out what you want to automate. And then I do get stumped pretty often, but you want to, if you want deep integrations in your system. So this is where ChatGPT is starting to do it. Like you can integrate your ChatGPT with your email, with your Google Drive. I can integrate Manus with those things too. I mean, I do want to say be careful, right? This is why some people use Linux, and you are giving away your information even if you don't think you are. But if
Well,
you, yeah,
I would say just beyond that, it's kind of like how I describe using the Grammarly Chrome extension. They don't mean to hoover up all your data. It's just part of the function is that they're going to hoover up all of the data. And that's
yeah,
sort of so you may inadvertently expose something that's sensitive that may not be like definitely this is totally not HIPAA compliant. There's like absolutely no or CIPITA or whatever the Canadian version of HIPAA
hmm
is, but there's absolutely no way that that would be HIPAA compliant. Um, the other thing that kind of makes me wonder is uh, if Gemini accidentally broke Google Workspace Enterprise's compact with its users, because they always said that if you pay for Google Drive, they double encrypt it so that Google doesn't even know what's on your
They
file.
do have a little thing at the bottom that says, your information will not be used, like. So I mean, that's nice, right? So when to use an agent? Complex and repetitive tasks, right? When
Yeah.
you have technical staff or budget to hire developers, hire them. But like I can do things now, like make scripts for automating some things on Google Sheets, which is pretty great. And I do use an agent over ChatGPT at this point, but I mean I do switch between them, right? And then for things like real business applications, what we're doing, like Phelan, what do you use ChatGPT for mostly?
I switched between it, Gemini, and Cloud for writing basic scripts.
Okay.
And another thing that I wanted to say about that is one of the big two words that why the code works a little bit better is
hmm
because if you write words, those are probabilistic. That's how they're writing it. It's not deterministic. Whereas like code is deterministic. You have a function. It takes in these things. It's going to do these things to it. It should output this. Oh, it
Yeah.
didn't output that. Why is it like it's very determined? Like there's a set path of things, and so I like to use the as much of the ChatGPT for those. Though apparently Cloud is considered the best by a lot of developers, like big time developers for coding.
A lot of
Uh,
people like Claude, right? Cloud.
yeah,
um and so I think that's interesting. So it's saying here, what I'm looking at, it's like, ChatGPT draft. I do a lot of email draft responses, then I edit, of course, and then, but it's a fast way. When you get an email, you're like, oh, how do I just get this done? Well, throw it in ChatGPT. Make a personalized ChatGPT. That's what we did, where you can get. I mean, I've said this so long. You can like have Gobblebot eat your website, and then or all your documents you have. So then you can have like a ChatGPT that can help you with email responses or like writing summaries of things. I know in Read.ai, it has Copilot, and Copilot is like a chat GPT, right? It'll summarize and things like that.
It's Microsoft's version of it.
Yeah. And I really like Copilot, actually. Um, it just feels friendly.
Yeah, there's sometimes I like it, sometimes I want to strangle it, but that's just kind of the
Yeah.
function of. Uh,
So, like reports, market trends, I think we're going to see lots and lots of shifts. Bloody well, I saw a commercial the other day where you can pay for robot assistant in your house starting at like 20 grand. It comes three colors. That might be a weird oversight. So, um, and yeah, so you never know what's coming. Maybe we will be like the Jetsons soon. What do you think? I mean, I want a robot, but but I guess we're not there yet. And I think once the market value comes down, maybe they'll be cheaper because I'm surprised. I don't think they're made yet. I think it's anyway. So
yeah, they're
ChatGPT.
all on
Yeah.
spec right now. There's a lot of these people have been trying this for a while now, and we haven't gotten any closer.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, and again, that auto pathfinding stuff that I talked about the video games, it's even
Hmm.
worse in real life. Uh,
Oh, I bet.
it's,
Well, right. And I wanted to talk about like, I think people are using ChatGPT for like sales emails and brainstorming campaigns and maybe organizing a link building strategy potentially where like yeah, where custom agents are going to be able to I get actually I've used ChatGPT, Gemini, um and Manus to analyze Google Ads accounts. Each one of them kind of acting like an agency in that they're pulling apart the information, and but I guess they're just chat bots versus agents at that point, right?
yeah, because it's more they consume a bunch of files, go through the
Yeah.
file, and then run an analysis, and then give you a response off of it, which is a little different than. So one really good MCP that I'd heard about that I actually am interested in because I think that will be useful is Brave browser's search mode. So
Okay.
you can get your AI agent to use Brave all inside a like N8N and then give you responses. So I'm wondering if I could do stuff like log into Google and then when they get a prompt to be like, hey, I need the code, then it can text me to because you can get it to send an SMS text and then based on the response in the SMS that it can take actions based on that.
Interesting. So I think this is going to make things more personalized, and if you're like tight on budget, you can use the free version of ChatGPT. You can, get links to people's like Manus or if they're paying for Gemini, right? But ChatGPT is what, $30 a month for the team?
Yeah.
$20 per user. Enterprise $60 a month. It looks like, and the agent was originally $200, and now they have a new browser, which we've been talking about in the Facebook group a little bit. Atlas, and we believe that Chrome was completely going away. Um, I don't think it is completely going away, but they've been sued for being a
Mono-
dominant force,
Monopoly.
a monopoly, and so we're seeing things like they're not taking care of their stuff as well. But this, new Atlas, you got a Chat GPT right in there, and you have Gemini right in there too, kind of if you're using Google Workspace, which is
Yeah.
interesting. But as we get deeper into the bots and the Chat GPTs and the agents, we're gonna all find different things we can use it for, and we know that a lot of companies are laying off people right now. And we know that, some of them are thinking they can replace people with agents. Usually that's a dramatic fail and they have to hire people back, as we've seen. Um, but there are a lot of applications that will help us individually in our own personal lives if we just become accustomed to them, right?
Yeah, I would say that for people, giant corporations that are thinking that we're just going to replace a bunch of people and then use AI tools to like
Yeah.
replace 30,000 people, that just doesn't line up with any time they've tried to use these, right? Whether it's been like drive through stations, whether it's been call centers like that, none of these have
Mm.
worked so far at scale. They work a
It's
little
true.
bit too. They're like, this is like a, they were expecting a 10x result out of this, and they got a
Yeah.
10%. Is like
Yeah.
a much closer depiction of what the actual gains are.
Well, yeah, and I mean, we've had some experiences where, like, I've had somebody turn around and be like, "Just use ChatGPT. Try this word for Google Ads." I'm like, "Yeah, well, that word has no search volume, and Google won't even show that word up, like uh, the phrase up in for me to pay for." So it gets a little dicey. But I mean, this is only it started in 2022. We're only in 2025, so we'll see. Like, things are moving fast,
Yeah.
and I'd say, like, better to learn about these things and avoid them. But also, like, if you use agent mode, you need to supervise it. Like, don't let it just do stuff on your computer. Don't sign it into things without watching what it's doing. Like, I would never, ever, ever sign into Google Ads using an agent, and then let it do things. Like, I would
No,
take the information out of the account, and then just for security and privacy, right? Um, the data stays private, but we want to make sure security is a big thing. I always said security, that is one place, like, data security to get into, because no matter if they're going to have, like, robots doing all this stuff or managing it, they're going to need human oversight. So, um,
yes.
but yeah, so make sure you're hanging out with your agent when it's doing stuff, and,
Yeah.
and don't give away control, because there are protocols like, two-factor authentication. We totally believe in that, right? But
Yes.
we have 4 minutes, and here's your roadmap. If you're not using ChatGPT, sign up. Invest $20 a month if you can, or try to use somebody else's, because the free version is, well, not as good, right? You're getting the lower end tier of things. So it is kind of a pay to play, but it is great to learn it. Also, the best way to learn things is to teach your team, talk about them, right? See, about training and subscriptions, and then identify workflow integrations. We're trying to do that right now, on our own with N8N and Trello. I think that's what we're doing. Um,
That's
but
one of them. Yeah.
but it's a little work, right? There's lots of sales stuff going on, because we know people are looking for new business a lot more nowadays, and well, the way things are going, people are using agents to help them find people's names and emails. So emailing is a bigger player. It's always been the underground player that we haven't used very much.
Well,
Speaking
yeah.
of,
It's
yeah, go on.
well, it's always been kind of cold email has always been kind of the gross icky one of the bunch because it has such a bad reputation overall. Um,
And that's because it looks different on everybody's screen, and they've never had a common, like, language in email, as weird as it
yeah.
sounds, right? Ooh, okay. We are 2 minutes away, so I'm not going to get us cut off. If you're joining us today, we're in the Business Marketing Mixer, where we hang out. We do live podcast every Thursday, and it goes up on it's up on YouTube, and it is also up on podcast players. Um, Next week, we are talking. Rena and I are talking about marketing lessons from the world's most successful brands. That's going to be really fun. I think that's. I wonder if it's just this year, but there'll be some research in there. And if you're wondering why I'm talking funny, I have a little lisp, like, what is it? The Ice Age guy, the sloth.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's what we're talking about next week. That should be really fun. Come join us in the Facebook Marketing Mixer. Yeah, we've
Yeah.
changed its name. It used to be Cyberpunk Geeks Marketing Mixer, but we got older. And if you have any questions or want to talk anything, ChatGPT, AI, agents, we're all for it, aren't we? Aren't we? Yeah, yeah,
We
yes.
absolutely are. Leave us a comment. We're happy to answer any questions you have.
Yeah, and we're learning with you, so that's super fun. Oh, and last little prompt: if you are in the Facebook group, and you should look out for a post from me in the next 2 weeks about joining our paid group for free. And if not, don't worry about it. But we'll see you next time. All right.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.